guys, what's up? It's Abby, and today I'm going to be talking about how to get rid of your clothes sustainably. I've been doing a lot more with my Instagram business where I resell clothing and just been talking to people that are like, okay, but I donate clothes, but what about the clothes that I have no idea what to do with because they're not really in good enough condition to donate, and yada yada. So here we are, and if you're doing spring cleaning like a lot of people, or just feeling sick of your closet and your clothes and you're ready to get rid of them, I just beg you to not throw them in the trash, because that is a sad, sad story. So first a fact, and I will link all my sources down below just so that you can have some things to go back and read on if you want to. To actually state the fact is that the average American throws away 70 pounds of textile waste annually, and while 95% of that could get recycled, only 15% of it typically is. And I think that fact just wakes me up to, like, wow, so many of us, like, I didn't know about fast fashion or about this waste problem until a couple years ago. It goes to show how many of us are uneducated about the topic, and also just can be hopeful for us to see, like, oh, all of the things that we have, even though, like, it's in a world right now where we're trying to consume less and stuff, there's still goodness and hope in the items that we have, and just that they can be recycled and repurposed. I know that the struggle can be so real, especially if you live in a rural area, or personally, like, I lived out in the middle of nowhere in the country and there wasn't even a McDonald's or anything within miles and miles. So I know that the struggle can be like a legitimate thing of just not knowing where to go, and then also just not having the time to go to places because it's a lot of back and forth. So firstly, I would just suggest you can try Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, reselling things that way and donating. This is kind of in the donating sector. Or you could save up a bunch of your clothes and items that you want to recycle and just make a trip out of it, like bring some friends along and do something fun, but also go recycle at the same time. And then most of us have heard about doing clothing swaps and stuff like that, but I still think that's super relevant, because while donating is good, and that's what a lot of people talk about when they talk about discarding your clothes, there are just so many pieces that are not in good enough shape to be redonated, or that you know you're giving to Goodwill, but you're like, I feel slightly guilty because I know that someone probably won't buy this because it's not in the best condition, which is happening a lot, especially as our clothes are being made with less and less quality. My go-to lately has been to recycle items, because I've kind of gotten past the donation at this point, just because I went through a bunch of my clothes after high school and donated the ones that I knew were in better condition. So I wanted to touch more upon the recycling aspect, so here we go. You can recycle everything from bras and underwear to shirts and sweatshirts and bedding, anything that is made of fabric. I would first suggest checking out the American Textile Recycling Services and seeing if there's a box near you where you could donate. If you don't have a bin near you, then you could also just do a Google search and check out local recycling near me. And honestly, don't be afraid to just call or email and ask them, because I think that one of the best ways you can tell the credibility of a business is with how transparent they are with you. So just ask them straightforward a question about how you recycle or XYZ and see what response you get. Then there's also the option of going to some of these more well-known stores where a lot of them will give you a discount off your next purchase from them, which I feel like kind of negates the like environmentally friendliness, but like depending where you're going, but also is a nice perk to donating your fabric, and you know you'll be donating it to be recycled. So some of those organizations and brands would be Patagonia Worn Wear, H&M, Madewell, The North Face, Levi's, and I think there's one more. Zappos. I know that they work for Souls for Souls and are doing some really cool stuff over there. Alright, two more things before we conclude this video. The first is I just wanted to talk about New York City Fab Scrap for a moment, because this is a really cool organization, I believe a non-prof, that is based in New York City. I'm pretty sure it's only in New York City, but I would love for them to expand, or for someone to do something similar where the idea is that you can give your fabric and then they'll take that fabric and give it to creators, or you can just buy it. So it's kind of a fabric swap. and you're basically just using the fabric from the discarded textiles, which I thought was pretty cool. And then secondly, I just wanted to touch real quick upon my skepticism with donating, which is why I kind of wanted to emphasize on the recycling aspect today of discarding your clothes. I've just been reading some articles, especially about Goodwill, with the turnover rate being 3 to 4 weeks of your item being in store, and a lot of your items not even making it through to the retail store section, and instead just being pushed over to auctions and then being pushed over to either being recycling or being exported overseas. And I think there's a huge danger in exporting overseas, because what I've been reading about has just talked a lot about how these shipping bundles, basically they'll take these big bundles, wrap them in plastic, and export them overseas so that people there can try to resell our clothing. But the thing is, it's yes, I think that's the word. It's detracting from the local businesses over there and just their economies and how they work. So I think that that can be really dangerous, and then ultimately those clothes too can end up in a landfill, which, you know, the process after that. That is all for now. I hope that you guys learned something or enjoyed this video. I know that there's a lot of things that I don't know and would love to learn, so if you have any more knowledge on the subject or other resources, please make sure to leave them down in the comments below or just say hi. I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I'm really bad at winking.